In this section we will generate our website using Nasdanika Command Line Interface or CLI. So far we've been generating the website using context menus of the root node. This approach is pretty straightforward and fast. However, it doesn't allow to provide configuration values. It also requires to switch the selected element to the root action. It might be a minor inconvenience in a single model site as ours, but in a multi-model site scenario with frequent generations those focus switches may become a noticeable drain of mental energy. The CLI approach requires a bit of effort to set up and generation takes more time. At the same time it is configurable and does not change the selected element. It can be used from the user interface and from automated processes. For example, Nasdanika sites are generated by the Nasdanika CLI during the automated build process. The documentation site is generated from several models, with some of them also being generated by the Nasdanika CLI from different data sources. When used in the Eclipse, the CLI can be invoked using keyboard shortcuts, which may be important for people who prefer short edit generate cycles. Let's start with opening the reference documentation so we can consult it while we configure generation with the Nasdanika CLI. Switch back to Eclipse and open External Tools configuration. Right-click on the program and select New Configuration. Give it a name. Select Browse File System. Open the Nasdanika Tool Suite installation folder. Select nsd.exe. In the working directory select Browse Workspace. Select our project. Enter the argument as shown on the screen. The exit code is not 0 and there is an error message. It turns out we forgot to specify the command. This is how our command line should look like. Let's run it again. Exit code 0 means that execution was successful. You can ignore the exception output below. In order to verify that it actually generates, let's modify the content of the principal action and see if the change gets reflected in the generated site. Success once again. We can verify the changes in the browser. We will do it a bit later. Right now let's use the comparison tool. Here we go, this is our modification. And the same change in the browser. We are ready to publish our new site. However, there are some new files created by the command line interface. Actually, we don't want them in our repository. We need to tell Git to ignore them. A quick note about the docs progress .txt file. It contains generation progress information. While it looks cryptic, it may help with troubleshooting when generation fails for some reason. So, ignoring it as well. Add a new git ignore file to the stage changes. Then commit and push. Now our last modification is public.